business owners who redefine success, who invest in people, who give back to their community, are not simply business owners. They are SD Metro business rock stars.
Welcome back to another episode of San Diego Metro Business Rockstars. My name is Florentino Buenaventura, the host, and we are here with another great company, one that I might want to use to get a little healthier. We've got Fix Medical Group, and we've got Sam Wagg, W-A-G-G.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Welcome to the show today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to share what we do, a little bit more about myself, my company, and how we help people.
Awesome. Well, first off, I took a look at the website, kind of got a little background on you guys, and you guys are kind of a unique brand in the market. Yes, it's Fix Medical Group, but you also bring in, preventive, working out, other types of different therapies.
Yep.
So it's a really unique proposition that you guys offer. Tell us the basic general premise behind the company's mission and vision, and then how did you get into that? What got you into this world of fitness and medical?
I'll start with your first question. Ultimately, our purpose or our vision is we really think the medical system or how doctors interact with patients, it can be a lot more interactive.
Yeah.
And you should be able to text your doctor. You should be able to ask them questions because it's your health.
Yeah.
And instead of people going once or twice a year, and a lot of times being afraid to share what's going on with their health, but we kind of flip that. And we believe in partnering in health with our clients and really walking shoulder to shoulder with them to get to where they're going. Because
that's super smart.
That's what it takes to bring someone from, where they are to where they want to be, rather than just that guidance once or twice a year. Like, all right, we should maybe change your diet.
Yeah.
Not giving them direction. So in a short answer, it's like we make custom healthcare plans with people, but we take that journey with them as far as partnering. And truly, we look at ourselves more as coaches than doctors. And that's how we interact with our clients. Most of the text messages I get in a day are all from clients.
That is awesome.
And that's how we keep them on pace. We keep them getting towards their goals, but also stop people from falling off the wagon where you lose a little motivation and then you're like, oh man, hope I get this together before my next checkup.
Yeah.
Where we can course correct really quick.
Yeah.
And the way we make those custom healthcare plans is by getting to know someone. So sitting down, we literally sit down, knee to knee. I'm not on my computer typing as you talk at me.
So you're like, I go to the doctor and they usually put me with a nurse that gets all the information. Let the doctor, and then the doctor kind of asks a little bit because he didn't really read it beforehand.
Yeah.
Or she, depending on.
You re-ask the same things, right?
Yeah.
So our process is a lot different. You have a little bit of paperwork, 3 pages that you fill out before you come in. I've gone through all that stuff, made my notes. We'll sit down for an hour and really spend that time to get to know you. Most importantly, what are your concerns?
Yeah.
So where are you now and where do we want to be?
Yeah.
So we can simply make a A to B to Z to C to D all the way through plan to take you from where you are to where you want to be. And what we utilize to do those custom healthcare plans has really evolved over the years. So now we're offering regenerative medicine, body contouring, bioidentical hormone replacement, stem cell therapy. So whatever that person needs. And as you said, the way we do the health aspect, we have a program. It's called our Restart program. So when somebody gets to what seems like kind of a no-hope position, they're ready to hit restart on their health, we have an ability to do that. Yeah. And in that program, we cover really 5 main pillars that we believe in at our office. And that's nutrition, fitness, detox, hormones, and mentoring.
Wow.
So it's taking those 4 big ones and kind of putting it together. It's a really powerful punch. But ultimately, it's that mentoring part that I think is missing. The things that we do, they're not unique in the sense of other clinics do those things. Yeah. But it's how we put it together and how we make it a journey, or not make it a journey, but go through that journey with you.
Yeah. The adventure of going through the process. So, second part of the question was,
how'd I get here?
How'd you get here? 'Cause this is, frankly, this is the first time I've heard about a medical group doing this. Not to pigeonhole it, holistic approach. of
Yeah.
of health. Sometimes you'll hear about some fitness companies trying to do some of what you're talking about, but obviously they can't do it all because they're not doctors. And then doctors, my typical experience with doctors and what I've heard is, you go there when you got problems, and
Right.
then they give you some type of fix for that moment. Hopefully it cures it, but
Right.
it's usually you don't see them until you get a problem. It's kind of like a mechanic.
Yeah.
Versus how do you keep this vehicle,
Preventative.
the body running well.
So a couple more questions out of that one. One, as far as what you're saying is, number one, I'm happy to hear you say that this is unique, and we hope it is a unique approach, because we don't agree with the traditional, the way it's done.
Yeah.
Because just like you said, most people go when we have a problem or we have symptoms, and we get treatment for symptoms, not treatment for causes.
Yeah.
And just like you said, going to the mechanic, we have those check engine lights, or those lights come on in our vehicle. And yeah, there's things we can do to just turn that off.
Yeah.
But there's also things that we can educate you and teach you. And ultimately what I tell all my clients is, I want to go from having a little bit of reliance on me, because you're coming to me with some problems that you need help with, right? And you're going to rely on me to help change those. But as we make this knowledge transfer, I should become a resource in your life. I don't want you to be always dependent on me.
Yeah.
But if I can educate you on all these things, then you can course correct and not getting back to them.
Yeah.
How did I get here? It's been quite a journey. I was born and raised in Maine. I went to grad school in Florida. I came out here. So I always say, too cold, too hot, just right. But
we're all here. I'm a weather system myself.
Yeah.
If it goes below 70 or above 74, I'm like, give me money back on my taxes.
Yeah, I know. A little humidity tax today. I wasn't loving that.
Yeah, it is a little warmer.
Reminded me of both Maine and Florida, which I don't miss the weather in either. So growing up, I had a lot of sports injuries, and that's not uncommon for a lot of people in any type of healthcare. They experience it on their own. I played football, basketball, and track in high school, and then I went on to run track in college.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And, there's a span of time in my life, over a 2-year period, I broke over 10 bones. I really tried to get out of the way when I was on my parents' insurance. And that led me to experiencing a lot of different healthcare. And I think the biggest thing that instilled in me was just, we have the ability to get better.
Yeah.
And I saw it myself all the time, like get back on the basketball court, back on the football field, back on the track, whatever the injury was, could overcome it and get back to doing that. Yeah. But when I was in grad school, my background, my doctorate is in chiropractic. And I was very driven to learn more of how we could help people with their hands, because that was pretty badass if somebody could diagnose and help with their hands. Mm. So I went to chiropractic school in Florida. I got my doctorate there. But something that kind of frustrated me through school is I found out I actually had a spinal condition. And I had told multiple different doctors about symptoms I was experiencing, but not one person had ever looked as a whole and figured out truly what was going on.
Yeah.
When we got the imaging, it's cut and dry. It's like, you have this, but it didn't explain any other things.
Yeah.
So kind of a light bulb went off in my head then, when it's like, I've been telling people all this stuff the whole time, but one person's kind of put this together. And I really wanted to be a doctor that would help people get rid of that underlying cause, instead of just like, you have X, so you can't do this, this, and this, and you need to do. Because I had already done every single you're not supposed to do, can't do if you have this condition.
Yeah.
So I definitely wasn't limited by having it. So fast forwarding into practice, into my career, first couple of years of working out here, saw a lot of athletes, a lot of pro athletes, a lot of Olympians. It was great, doing a lot of sports care. But the more we got into general public and we were working with patients, and we realized people's education over health is severely lacking.
Yeah.
And as you said, when you go to the doctor, a lot of times it's like a symptom relief thing, because a lot of the care in our country, it's sick care.
Yeah.
It's not health care.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to walk in here with your insurance card and you say, I'm healthy, but I want to be better.
Yeah.
I say, we got a crazy guy at the front. Like, come back when you have a problem. That's not how our country is set up, right?
No, that's
and we don't believe in that. You should be able to get help when you need it. And like I said, I had a lot of injuries. I think we have the best acute care in the world. There's nowhere else I'd rather go for any of the surgeries I've had, any of that stuff. But that's really where our care stops. Because it starts with the injury, the getting that thing fixed, whether it's a surgery, a cast, whatever it is. But after that part, it could be a lot better. And what can we do before we get to that part? A lot of my injuries were like nutrition based, and there were things I could have changed outside of it wasn't the sport in that one instance what happened. It was all the stuff that led up to it.
Yeah.
So as my career kind of evolved, we started to add more and more things to our clinic. At first, we were just chiropractic, massage, personal training. Again, it's not the most unique thing. In our country, there's a lot of clinics that do those.
Yeah.
But we strive to really combine those in a way that other people couldn't. At one point in our clinic, people would probably spend 30 to up to 2 hours in our office, but they might see 4 or 5 different providers. So that could be acupuncture, chiropractic, massage, training. So people are really leaving with amazing results. But as that's kept going forward, we realized the need for internal health had to be there.
Yeah.
We had to be able to help people detox, heal their guts, learn how to eat correctly, learn how to incorporate that fitness, not just what happens in the office when you're on the strength floor and you're doing some rehab, but how do we make fitness a habit that fits into your lifestyle very easily?
It all makes sense. And obviously, I'm a guy who has a little bit extra. I need to take some good advice from you guys on how to do that.
I got
So
you.
you kind of brought up a good point, and then my next question was, you've got a whole group, a team of people. So tell us about the team, the family, the fixed family.
So that's what we call ourselves as well. So how we kind of grew or came to be. And I said I came out here from Florida. My now business partner, he was the original founder. Now there's 4 of us that work together. So our practice at first, it was very chirocentric, as we'll say. But as that team grew, now we have a nurse practitioner. Now we have a medical director.
Okay.
Now we have these other services. So it is all encompassing.
It's a complete.
When I coach people through our programs, we have a complete online curriculum. Yeah. So there's a module for every week. There's a video for every single day.
Wow.
So it's not just me educating you. Like, remember, we talked about this.
Yeah.
But you're getting that education in very digestible 4 or 5 minute videos where you can take that in. And by the end of our program, you have more education on nutrition than an MD has in their entire 4-year time in school. And, I have nothing against MDs. I have nothing against any type of healthcare provider. I really think we're all here to try to help people live a better life. But the way that healthcare is set up in our country, it's so insurance predicated.
Yeah.
What's your insurance cover?
Yeah.
Because that's the service you're getting.
Now, do you guys accept insurance?
We accept some insurances. Okay. Pretty selective, but some of the PPO plans.
Okay.
If people have flex spending or health savings accounts, of course we can utilize those. We predominantly take cash, and we have cash plans for people, payment plans. A big reason for that, though, when it comes to regenerative medicine, when it comes to a lot of things that we do, insurance does not pay for preventative care.
I know, that's kind of funny, right?
It doesn't at all. And just like I said, it's really sick care, not healthcare, right?
Yeah.
So when you go in, it's what symptom do you have? It's not, I want to avoid this. What tests can I get? What can I start to do so I don't get to this point? And I used an example recently where it's kind of I'm not here to say I have insurance, but that insurance is to save me from if something really bad happens.
Yeah.
If I slip down the stairs when I leave here, I'll try to get off your property first. But something like that happens and I need help, and I've had a lot of surgeries, I've had things like that happen. That's what it's for.
Yeah.
But it's not what I'm entrusting my health to.
Yeah.
It's like that's having a parachute. I'm not purposely going to jump and just hope it works. We want to help you avoid kind of falling off the cliff.
So that kind of brings up another good point. You're a very unique entity within the health, fitness, medical industry because you've kind of, like you said, you span the gamut. You've got doctors, you've got
MD, nurse practitioner, chiropractic, massage,
fitness, massage, all these different things. With that said, how do you get your messaging to these people? What are some of the things that you've done to reach out to people so they can learn about you? And how do you get that person that's used to a different
approach,
talk track when it comes down to the medical?
Well, a big thing that we do is our dinner talks, and whether that's in office or at a restaurant, because there is a high level of pre-education that goes into understanding like, hey, this is different than using your insurance and going when you have a symptom.
So when are
this is you being preventative.
Right? Yeah. When are those dinner talks and how can people,
and
then give the URL.
We typically do one a month at each location.
Okay.
So for instance, I run our Rancho Bernardo clinic, and on the 25th, I'll be speaking. That's in office. And I can share that information so any listener can get that from you guys.
Yeah, we can put that in within the post of the video and share those links below.
We'll go out to different restaurants and stuff like that as well. So that's one way that we do it.
Are there any particular restaurants that you guys use?
It fluctuates depending on kind of where we're at.
Okay.
Our office is really built off doing events in our community. So before, when we were chiropractic massage training, you couldn't find a race that was on a weekend that we weren't at. I've gone up before 5 way more times than I want to. But
yeah, they start those things off really early. Man.
Yeah, they're like, so you're going to want to be there at 3 a.m. to set up. We're not going to want to be there. So, but we love helping people. We love helping people do what they love. And that's really what we're predicated on. Get you back to doing what you love.
Yeah.
And those events were a great way for us to be seen in the community, to help people right in the moment, to do some injury assessment. And if they needed more care in the office, we'll do that. We still do a lot of that. It's just a gentle shift. Maybe instead of me partnering with like a gym close by and doing that injury assessment, I'm going to shift it to, hey, can we come in and talk to your members about how we could all be more preventative?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people might see, they have this injury assessment. I'm not injured.
Yeah.
But they're working towards something that they might not like. So kind of spin it a little bit. So between the community events, the talks, we have a podcast ourselves.
Nice.
We have a couple of different ways that we interact with the community, through social media. Yeah. So that's really how we try to spread the message. But it's I wish I could say it's super easy. There's a bit of a challenge with that because it is unique and it is different.
Yeah.
One of the feedbacks I've got before is, it sounds too good to be true. And I'm like, I'm just here to say it is. Like, it's not like where there's no hidden trapdoors, there's no secrets, right? But we're very transparent with what's going on, and it's as simple as that. Like, if you're looking for someone to partner in health with you, that's what we're doing.
Yeah. So I think what I get from it when hearing you, it's basically unifying all these single things that you would go out and do.
Yeah.
With other people, but they're not tied, like you said, not tied together.
Right.
This time they're actually tying that together, and so it's like one-stop shop.
Yeah. It's totally that, but it's also figuring out what's that order of operations that's correct for you.
Yeah.
Right. Because so often, Google's great, awesome resource, but you can't put in, I am a 5'10" white male with green eyes and black hair, and I'm a B positive blood type. What is the best way for me to lose weight?
Yeah.
It doesn't know. All I can tell you is a lot of different programs. And again, in our country, sex sells. So people want to sell fast results.
Yeah. And they want to be able to get to the information as concisely and quickly and easily as possible.
Yeah.
And that's nice that they can go to one spot and that everyone kind of understands what the other element of your organization is doing. You'll more than likely will be able to share information with the massage therapist,
right?
With the nurse practitioner, with
that's
anybody in your team.
Let's say the other part that's so unique is so many people, especially through these last 2 years, because everything was so delayed when you're trying to go get imaging or at least get in with a doctor, right?
Yeah.
For something that wasn't like, I think I have COVID. So it made it very difficult. But what most people's experience is like, maybe you go to see your MD. I have a knee problem. He checks it out. He's like, okay, I want you to go see this ortho. Yeah. And then you're like, all right, a month later, I go see him. He's like, all right, I want you to do PT for 4 weeks. If it's still bad, come see me again. And you're like, oh my God, when are we going to solution for this thing?
Yeah.
Whereas in our office, I'm like, all right, next time you're here, tomorrow, you're going to meet with a nurse practitioner. We're going to use the ultrasound. We're going to get some imaging. We're going to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
And everything is in-house where everybody knows what's going on. You're not showing up to that ortho appointment. And he's like, who are you again? And like you said, that nurse maybe asks you all those questions, and then the next person's re-asking all the same stuff.
Yeah.
So it's all same system. Everything's right there. They know exactly what you've done every step.
Yeah.
But it also allows somebody to jump in. I have clients all over the country, not even just physical people that come in, but using that online curriculum, I can coach people from afar.
Yeah.
So I literally have Eastern Seaboard, Western, middle of the country, everywhere. We had a client, really challenging as far as like just getting to the bottom of what's going on and how can we help this person out. And it was easy to just have an email chain with my whole team and lay it out, what's going on, and let everybody chime in and then relay that back to the person. So having the power to do that that's really great. And it's the best interest of the person.
So I've got an interesting question for you. because I know there's patient-client, secrecy privilege or whatever you want to call it. But I'd love to hear a story where one of your patients or your clients or however you want to call them came to you and with the issue and it was really a challenge, and you guys, how your solution worked, and how did that make you feel?
One that comes to mind that's like pretty profound. We had this patient come in, great career. For most people on the outside, just be like, what do you have to be upset about? Because a lot of people think of just this, right?
Money,
If you make money, everything must be good. And one thing I'll share off sidebar, it's like getting to experience so many different people. I couldn't tell you how far that is from the truth of seeing every different level of what people make and their happiness. And it's not about the money.
Yeah.
But this patient ultimately had really bad knee pain, both knees. And what that led to was a continual weight gain. And it became this vicious cycle where I can't work out to lose weight because my knees hurt so bad. And the more my knees hurt, I eat because that is a depressing, painful thing. Yeah. It was kind of a really negative feedback loop. And it's not for lack of knowledge, knowing what to do, but not having a solution. She found our office. We were able to do some regenerative medicine. So we used stem cells in both knees to restore that cartilage. She went on to lose over 80 pounds.
Wow.
She took my patient to a concert, my business partner to a concert as a thank you. And he got to meet her 4 best friends. And they all hugged him crying to say, we have our friend back. Because we never would have been able to come to this concert. We couldn't have stood on our feet long enough. So something like that was like that's changing the trajectory of where someone was going. Yeah. I don't care so much about the 80 pounds. That's great. But it's the result that we got for her. And I'm proud to say there's a lot of people that have semi-similar stories of whatever the condition was, but by the end of it, of really getting them back to being able to do what they want to do.
Yeah, I wanted people to experience that because I could see it in your eyes and I could see it and hear it in your words how much you really were about, it's not about the money. Mm-hmm. It's about making a difference in people's lives. Yeah. So with that said, let's, we're going to have you back again sometime because you got a lot of, maybe get more specific about some of the technologies. But in this particular case, you've said a lot of great things. What is the one thing you want to share with the audience that isn't something you've already said, but it should, you want them to know about you and your organization?
I would say the biggest thing that's maybe different from what we do, or that I would want everyone to know, is everybody has hope to get better from where you are and to get to a better place. Yeah. And to anyone out there who's like, I've reached the end of the road, I've already talked to every doctor, they said I couldn't do this or that or whatever, talk to us, challenge us, because we want to help you out. And I'll be really transparent. It's like, I've had people have sent other places. I'll find you your solution, whether I provide it or not. But that's all we do is research this kind of stuff all the time. Like, this is my life. So let me know what you have going on and let me point you in the right direction, or let's figure out how we can do it here. But to anyone who thinks they've reached a point where you can't do anything else, we've seen so many people come in like that and get to a better spot. Yeah. So if you feel like it can be done, I love a challenge.
Awesome. Well, with that said, folks, take the fixed challenge, have a healthier, which ultimately leads to a happier life. Share with them your URL.
Yep. So if you want more information, you want to go to our website, it's fixedmedicalgroup.com. If you want to check out our YouTube, it's Fixed Medical Group, our Instagram, Fixed Medical Group, and you can keep up with us on there. Also our podcast, Fixed Medical Group. And you can hear more from me, more from my team, and really get a better sense of what we do.
Well, thank you, Sam, very much. I really appreciate you joining us today. This has been, again, I've got a journey that I got to take. We should talk after this. This has been Florentino Buenaventura on San Diego Metro Business Rockstars. We have a business rock star who's giving back to the community, one patient, client, friend, family member at a time. You've got this whole approach that you all here can take advantage of. I encourage you to talk to Sam and his team. With that said, stay tuned for another one.